Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the barn. Today we are doing nothing at all like I said we were going to be doing in the last video. We are indeed doing a Model A episode-ish, which is why I'm going to title this episode 1.5. And the reason that we're doing that is because today is a very, very interesting and awesome day. It's new equipment day. Essentially, every time I get a new piece of equipment for the shop or something in the shop changes, I'm going to try my best to record it and document it so that you guys can all see what's going on and what's changed and so on. So you don't come back to a video and go, oh, what's that new thing over in the corner? Or, oh, why is this over here now? So on and so forth. I'm not going to be doing a video on the stuff that's changed over the last 2 years because, oh my goodness, so much has changed. But I'm going to try and start doing that from now on, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand what is, what you're seeing. So, you are currently sat on top of the Model A engine. The reason that this is going to be a part Model A video is because we're going to take off the upper outlet, the outlet for the radiator. So this here is the water pump. If you don't know, the water pump is driven off of the crankshaft via a belt, which comes up to here on this pulley here. Let me just move my phone out of the way. And this here is both the fan and the water pump. The water pump is in here. So as the engine turns, there's a little impeller which forces water up through this outlet here, which is a cast iron piece, goes through a radiator hose and then into the radiator, specifically right here. This is the top of the radiator. You can see the radiator fill there. And then it, of course, passes down through the radiator to the sump at the bottom. I believe that's called the sump. And then that goes back through a hose that would go right here and into the input on the side of the engine block there. So today we're going to take this off, which will only take a little while. It's only a couple of bolts, and clean it up a little. And then we're going to test out my new sandblasting cabinet by using it to clean up that part. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, well, this is the new sandblasting cabinet. So you're actually watching this quite a bit later than when I last filmed in the shop. A variety of things happened. First off, the original light that was on there, they were fluorescent. They got a bit too cold. It is currently about, I think it's 21 degrees outside. It's a little bit warmer in here because I've had the heater going, but I didn't have it going at that point. So it was about 20, 25 degrees in here. And the starter for the fluorescent bulbs just couldn't handle it. So I switched it out for a LED, which is significantly better now. Also, as I said, I set up some heat. So I cleaned up a little bit around the shop, lit the furnace, and I've also got my little space heater going on here as well. I've got it off right now so that it's not bothering the camera. But let's take a look-see through this thing. So first off, it is huge. It is like probably 3.5 by maybe 4 feet on the inside. It's 4 foot by 5 foot on the outside. It works at between 90 and 180 psi. I don't have the capability of making 180 psi. I don't plan on having the capability of making 100 psi. I'm probably going to run it on 90. But it's really nice. It's got a little shelf down there I can put stuff on. This was built by somebody, I don't personally know him, but apparently his name was Homer, and he named this thing after himself, a bit of a pun of Homebuilt for Homerbuilt. So this is the Homerbuilt sandblasting cabinet. So it's gonna have that name. I'm gonna allow it the respect and honor of keeping its original name, its original owner's nickname for it as the Homerbuilt. And yeah, so I got it from a good friend of mine, part of the Model A Club, the Model A Club, who received it eventually. I'm not sure if it was in the light of his passing or bought it from him before he passed, Homer, that is. Um, but he bought this cabinet or received this cabinet somehow and used it for many years. This individual is an unbelievable man in terms of Model A and Model T restoration. He's been restoring Model A's and T's since he was 16, and as of this year, he is 90. So, needless to say, at his age, he's starting to slow down a little bit and wanted to pass his equipment on to people who are going to use it. And fairly obviously, with the Model A project, we're going to be using it a lot. So today's going to be a little bit of an introduction to it, as well as, first tests. Obviously, I've already tested to make sure that it works, and I've already tested all my systems to make sure that they work properly and that I assembled it all correctly. But yeah, it's going to be a day to sort of see how effective is this going to be. Now, again, that's not going to be a perfect representation because I don't have a compressor that's anywhere near capable of handling the air needs of this thing right now. But, as I said before, it'll be good enough to test it. So, let's go through some of our systems. So we're actually going to start over here, and you can see the unit is over there. Now, why would we start over here? Well, I decided that with a unit of that size that's going to take up that much space, I might as well make it slightly more permanent than some of my other equipment. So I ran some electric to it. I ran this wire down the wall and over here to the corner where I've set up, and you probably won't be able to see this too well because it's quite dark, but I set up an outlet in there. And I also set up this switch on the fan blower, and that's what this is. So this blower will take all of the dust and rust and biomaterial, whatever that is on whatever we're blasting, and essentially throw it outside. And that sounds pretty wasteful, but it's really not that bad. Anything that's heavy, like the sand, will sink right down to the ground and I can pick it up with a bucket of the Kubota layer. And anything that's like bio or anything like that, that's all just going to go into the environment and be, taken back up into the environment as energy. Let's say, like, I have a Ford V8 head in there that's got some moss on it, right? Sandblast the moss away, all it's going to do is go back out into nature and get reused. So that's realistically completely fine. It's only if I put bad things in here that becomes a problem. But flip that switch and our blower comes on. And you can see how it's connected. It just goes down through here, and you can also see, I'll turn the light on. Whoa, that's bright. That's our entrance, and over there you can just barely see it. I'll open the door and show you. Right over here, as you can see here, that is our air input. So air comes through the back behind the cabinet here, through this vent into the cabinet itself, and then gets sucked up through there, hopefully with any particulates like sand or rust or whatever. This handle is quite interesting. As you can see, Homer has the instructions here. It's a very interesting setup. It's got a spring on it, which is nice because it holds the gasket tight to the door frame here, which you can probably just barely see. But here's the gasket. Oh, that needs to be repaired a little bit, but anyway, it's also got a nice positive click on it, which I really like, thanks to the bit of metal here, which has its notch. So as I shut this, you can see nice positive click on that. I really enjoy stuff like that. It also has this regulator. This is apparently an old Sears regulator. You can see I don't have any pressure in here right now. It's got a bunch of different things on it. It's got a drain for the water, which is really awesome. And it's also obviously got its main function as the regulator. I have a regulator on the compressor as well, which is the one I'm using right now for the most part. But in the future, when I may have a higher pressure system that goes through this whole shop, this will be a very useful tool. The gloves are quite nice. They're very long. You can actually reach your whole arm in there. I don't know if you can, you should be able to see just fine. But I can reach my whole arm in there and still not touch the back. So that's good, probably at least 3 feet, maybe even 3.5 feet of travel there, which is awesome. You can see the grate on the bottom. That's just a cutout grate. It's not anything super special. And the rungs there are just rebar, but they serve just fine for anything that's not particularly heavy. I do hope that someday I might be able to put relatively heavy things in this. I'm probably going to have to modify it a little bit in order to do that, because this rebar is strong, but it's not that strong. If I open the door here, you can see, if I press down on it, I can pretty easily move it. It's well attached, like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, it's unsupported rebar, so it's not going to be super strong. But you can see the whole setup is quite nice. It doesn't take up a ridiculous amount of space. I've got it set up on blocks so that it's level. And it's got something like, I'd say 90 pounds of sand in it, which is plenty enough. I mean, it recirculates just fine. But yeah, it's really quite a nice piece of equipment. So why don't we head back into the shop, and we'll start taking off that that neck and throw it in there and see how it goes. Well, how about we get into it then? Just these 2 bolts, and we'll be going. Hope you can see all right over there. I think you can go. This will be the first opportunity to see how well the engine is set up on the stand here. Can I break these bolts? Nuts, I should say. I think these are studs. Let's move it over a little bit. See if I can get a bit of a better grip. It's fighting me a little bit here. Does not want to come off. Okay, well, we're gonna have to come up with a different plan there. Let's see if we can get a socket and some wrenches, and we'll try that. All right, back with the not sockets, wrenches. I decided that with this old engine, it's probably better to go with wrenches. So we'll try this, see how this goes. Oh boy. Still fighting. Does not want to come loose, I guess. Huh. Let's try the other one. See about that. You won't be able to see very well here, but we'll try it anyway. Wow. They are on there. Okay, I'm going to get some penetrating oil, spray it on there, and probably another wrench to see what's going on. Alright, well, we got some penetrating oil on there. I'm going to try the old double wrench trick, see if maybe we can get enough leverage on this thing to get it off. Oh boy. Oh, yeah. All right. We got some movement. Oh, boy, that was on there. Holy crap. Whew. Oh, is the whole stud coming? Nope, nope. Just the nut. Good. All right. Well, now that we've got that one broke free, let's go for the other side. I'll see if I can get you a new camera angle so you can actually see some. All right, how about that? Can you see? Yeah? All right, good. I want to make sure this goes this way. Make sure that's on there all the way so that we don't break this bolt, or nut, excuse me. Stay on there. Damn it. Does not want to come off. Why am I not fitting all the way? Oh, there we go, that fits. Problem is I'm not fitting all the way properly onto this bolt. I'm hitting the casting a little. seeing if I can find a place to put a wrench on there that might be a little better. We'll try that. Oh man, these things are on there. Holy crap. That's crazy. Every other bolt on this thing came apart so easy. Not that these aren't easy, like they're not horrible by any means. But man, I would have expected these to be a lot easier than some of those other ones. Wow, there just really isn't any good way to get at this, huh? Looks like I might have to go for a socket. All right, I'm gonna go grab a socket. I'll be back. All right, well, I grabbed a socket. I know these are for the Ugga, but I'm just gonna use it on this. I also grabbed a torque wrench. This is just a cheap one, so I don't really care that much if something goes wrong. We'll see if we can get this off this time. Hopefully this should do it. Let's see. That didn't really feel like a loose bolt. And I don't like that feeling. We'll see. Let me try tightening it first. I didn't see that move. Oh, no, it is moving. Okay. Please tell me it's the bolt and I'm not breaking the stud. Let's try it with a wrench. See if we can see anything better. So tight. All right, I'm gonna keep going with this for now. Hope and pray I don't break it. Tell me you're coming off, please. Oh, that might. Oh, it might be good. It might be good. Let's see. Is it coming off? It looks like it, yeah. That stud is not turning. That's fantastic. All right, I'm going at it with this so I don't hurt myself. And hopefully this thing will come right off. And it is. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna get these the rest of the way off, and then I'll give you a look, close-up look. And with that, there is our two nuts and our washers. Boy, they were on there really, really tight. That is pretty crazy. And the weirdest thing is that they really did not feel like they were coming loose. They felt like they were breaking. Thankfully though, it looks like, I don't see any necking or anything. Looks like that stud there is alright. Also looks like it's got some kind of, I don't know, some kind of red substance. Probably, it's probably Loctite. That would explain why they were on there so tight. But, alright, well, I'm going to beat on this thing a little bit, see if maybe I can get it to come apart. And I'm going to set you back over there where you were before. Alright, I got myself a mallet. Let's see if we can get this thing off. Oh yeah, that moved. That was easy. There we go. Bang! Well, that wasn't too bad at all. Alright. And there's still some gasket material on there. It's horrible and it's just totally destroyed, but at least it's there. I guess. Hasn't disintegrated. You can see the impeller for the water pump, and that's really cool. Oh boy! Ugh, watch your ears. Woo! I'll do my best not to do that anymore. It honestly looks all right in there. It's not quite as rusty as I would have expected. I mean, it's definitely rusty, but it's not horrible. All right, good. I'm going to, off camera, take a chisel to this and see if I can get some of this off. And then in like 25 seconds, we'll head over to the sandblaster and take a look at this thing. Well, you can see here, scraped off a little bit of this old gasket material, and the surface looks pretty good. In fact, you can even see the old either wire brushing or machining marks or whatever that is. But yeah, that should be good. Obviously clean that up a lot. The whole head's going to go through a bunch of different setups and treatments before it's ready to go. But that's a good start. Let's go take a look at coolant outlet. All right, well, let's go ahead and throw this baby in there. Set it up here for just a moment. Open the door. There we go. And let's start at this end here. See if we can clean up some of that backside. I also left the gasket on there completely, but yeah. I'm gonna try and set you up on the glass, which is gonna be interesting. You might not be able to get too much footage of this, but we'll see. Should be reasonable. All right, see you there. All right, well, we are now set up and ready to go. We've got good pressure. So, let's get to it, huh? Hope you guys can see okay. Looks like you can, but I guess we will find out. Well, that looks like our first bit of pressure gone, but look at all that. That looks quite nice. Got almost all the way around there. Even got a little bit of the inside too. But wait for pressure to build and then we'll go back at it. All right, well, pressure's back. It actually really seemed to like the sort of bursts that I was going at there for a second. So I'm gonna try doing more of that and see how it goes. It's starting to look really good though. All right, had to wait for pressure to build again, but we are all good to go. So let's get back to it. I actually did quite a bit that last time. I don't know if you can see it, but most of it is clean on the outside, that is. Still got to do the bottom, still got to do the inside, still got to do the top, but we're gonna get at this this paint here. Well, that's pretty much all of my air pressure gone there, so you can kind of see we can get a lot done, but could be a lot more if I had a bigger tank and a bigger compressor. Had to take a break for pressure to rebuild. Let's get back to it. All right. Well, that's pretty much all the paint off of it. Now we just got to get the rust out of the inside and off the top there and get this gasket off. And that's pretty much it. This is going to be fantastic. This is looking awesome. While that pumps back up, I'm going to take it over and put it on the wire wheel real quick and take that gasket off. It's going to be a little harder than I thought to get it off with the blaster. Alright, well that's a little better. Now we can get back to it. All right, well, here is our part. Let's go take a look at it under the light. All right, well, don't mind the messy bench, but this is looking really, really good. Still a little bit of paint left on the inside of the lip there. Definitely a little bit of rust still left inside, but not nearly as much as there was before. This thing, in my opinion, is pretty much ready to paint. Here you go. You can see A8250B. That's what that looks like to me. So that's really, really, really great. That is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, but let me know what you think of my sandblasting cabinet. Like I said, I got to get a new compressor, and that's going to be absolutely revolutionary with this thing, but I am really, really happy with it. Yeah, please, like I said, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.